Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I'm going to have a little look at the Decorative Bow Ring die set. So this is a little 4-piece die set, and I'm going to make 4 different cards with it, but I'm also going to give you lots of hints and ideas along the way of lots of other things that you can do with it, because on the face of it, it looks quite ordinary, but there's lots and lots of different ways that you can use these 4 dies. If you think you're going to like this kind of video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and that way you'll not miss any of them as they come up. Obviously then, if you do enjoy it at the end, leave me a little comment and give me a thumbs up, and that always helps. So first of all, let's look at the 4 different dies in the set. This one is really beautiful. It's a lovely circle die with a little stitched edging inside, and I'm just going to show you that cut out here in some lovely card. I have it in silver, and I've also got it in this beautiful diffused violet colour here, and you can see there beautiful little stitched edging. Now that could be used as a background or a mat on whatever kind of card you like. Just like this, you could make a circular card out of it. You could use 2 of them together. You could make an easel card or an aperture card, and already there you are, loads of ideas. But you could cut a smaller circle then and add a topper on top of that if you just want a quick card. There's lots of little circular dies. I used some actually earlier there in a recent video. Little happy birthday to you die. All of those circular things and scalloped bits and pieces that go along with this just really fit in very well. And then you can add foliage and whatnot, little butterflies, all of that sort of thing. And that's just starting off with some plain card. But obviously it's going to look really gorgeous if you use patterned paper in the background as well. That's just the first die. You can then actually use the second die to cut out another little circle. So that's this one. And obviously then you can use that on top here. You could lay it straight on in a different colour. You could pop it up in 3D foam pads and carry on and put some foliage or bits and pieces coming out from below the foam pads. But if you use the 2 of these together, then you'll get yourself a lovely ring like this, and you can use that in any colour that you like, and that looks really beautiful on top of a card just like that. But it also means that you've got this extra piece that you've taken out of the centre, and you can use that for something different. Now these other 2 dies are actually what Tonic call verso, so that means that they don't actually have cutting edges of their own. They've got a pattern on them. This one and this one with the beautiful little bows. This is tiny bows on it here. And if you cut that into the card, it cuts the pattern into the card, but it doesn't actually lift it out unless you use the outside die with it, and this one with this piece. So I'm going to show you first of all what I've done with an ordinary 6x6 card, just by using these 2 dies cut into the card. So there it is, and it gives you the most beautiful laser cut effect on the front of a card. So what I've actually done is take both of these dies, I've taped them onto my card like that, and then like that, and I've run them through my die cutting machine. Obviously I've run the machine through the card through the machine singly like this and not doubled over, because that would obviously then damage the other part of the card. But you could cut one out like this and then layer the top one on, keep this solid, or cutting the 2 out together like that, I think looks really beautiful. Now I've used that before to make a little tent card. You can have it standing up this way and use a little, you know, if you turn this around and use a little gust in below and put a little tea light in, and that makes a beautiful diffused effect through there, especially if you've got some vellum on behind that as well. Really beautiful. But today I'm going to use the silver and the diffused lilac just to show you how you can use this in different ways with the circle dies in behind. First of all, I have decided to take some beautiful card to match, and I've just cut a square with some, it's actually 13 centimeters square, and then I took this large die and I cut the circle out of it. And I've got that, and that can go onto the top of my card. But then I've taken a 14 centimeter square of silver card, I've cut the same circle out of the centre of that, and I'm just going to layer the 2 of those together and put them on the front of the card first of all. And as you can see, I've already got some double-sided tape on here, because I don't like to use glue on pearlescent or mirror card, because I think sometimes it shows just a little ripple. This is really, really fine double-sided tape that I've got, because I've been having a big clear out of my craft room and I've come across some stuff that I haven't used for a while and I want to use it. So this is the best way now, is just to use it up and give myself a little bit more space in there as well. So there we are, and I'm just going to add the second bit on. Now, you could leave that like that, but I always like to mirror that on the inside there. So what I've done is taken the circle that I showed you earlier, the silver one, and I'm going to attach that on here. And then I've got, well, I'm just going to show you this first of all. Doesn't that look really, really beautiful if you just add one? But you also then can add the second one, or you could add the middle one and take that one away, and that looks really beautiful too. Do you know, in fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. I've just changed my mind, because I also have some little circles cut, 2 little dots, and I think I've mentioned this in cards before. I don't like to add silver on here and then not have it anywhere else in the card. It sort of looks a bit odd that you've got just one piece of it. So I've actually punched out, just with a little hole punch, this one here, 2 little circles of silver, and I'm going to add them on there, and I'll glue this little piece on behind. Now it's really, really easy to glue that on behind, because you can see there it fits directly on, and you can just go ahead and put glue on the backs of these pieces here and glue it in place. I've added the little forever sentiment onto the top of that, so I cut it out in the same card and then I backed it onto white, and that's from the Simply Sentiments die set, and I thought it looked really, really beautiful there. I normally try to balance the card, so if I put something up here I would put something down here, and I did cut out the little bow, but I just don't think it suits, so I'm going against what I normally do, but I'm putting just the sentiment up at the top, and I think that looks lovely. Now, on to the second card then. I thought I'd make a circular card this time, and this is one of the beauties of using these dies, and they cut out pieces and parts even from the center here, and you've got lots of bits left over and you'll be able to use those. So batch making isn't necessarily all about just making the same card over and over again. You can actually use lots of the bits that you've cut out from one card to make others very, very quickly. Anyhow, for my next card then, I have cut out these 2 circles, and as you can see, I'm just going to make a circular card this time, and on the back one I've scored this down at 1 centimeter from the top and burnished that really well, and then I put this into the guillotine, lined this up so that I know this line here is exactly level, and I took off the tiniest sliver. Can you see that there? Just this little piece here. And what that's going to serve to do is make the card stand straight. So that's on the inside part and you won't even see it. And I'm going to glue this . Normally I don't use glue on this paper or this card, but I'm going to be adding something over the top of that, so it doesn't matter if it does happen to leave a little mark. It's not too bad there anyway. So that card now stands up. I probably should leave it for a minute or 2 more until the glue grabs properly, but the card stands up perfectly now without rocking, and that's exactly what we want. So I have now taken the piece that I cut out before, so that is using the 2 circle dies together, that one and that one, and I'm going to put this on here, and then I have taken the large circle and I've just cut in the 2 patterned pieces into the center of it and not used the small circle at all, and that has given me this. Now that would be really, really beautiful on there, and I could keep those 2 everything the same color, the 2 different pieces the same color, but I thought it would be really nice just to put this on here and then back that onto the beautiful purpley colored card in behind, and that would show through there. So I'm just going to go ahead now and add this. And of course this doesn't really matter if I'm putting glue on here, because I would normally use tape, as I said before, but I'm going to be adding something on top of this, so it's not going to be seen. Now that looks lovely as it is, but I thought I'd like to add a little bit of dimension on there, so I've recut one of the little centerpieces and nipped out the little bow, and as you can see I'm just putting that on a 3D foam pad. Just adds a little bit of extra dimension, and I'm going to show you how I've done that. So I just took this little die here and popped some white card in behind, and as you can see there are the little bows, and I didn't even need to cut the whole thing out, so I'm just going to go follow around there. And there, I just thought that that would look really nice if I added some crystal drops into the centre of the tiny bows all around there. So I've used some sweet lilac, and that goes really well with that. For my third card then, you can see I've used the big circle die to cut out 3 beautiful big circles, and I've got chrome silver, diffused violet and pink frosting, and they work really, really well together. But I want to add them onto the card something like this. So I'm going to be attaching those on, and then when I turn the card over, the card's a 14.5 centimeter card, and then I'm going to chop off all these areas here, and you'll just see the bits that are in the center. I'm just keeping my hand over that because it glares so much. Then when I get that done, I have cut the small circle out in white and the 2 together out in the silver, and I'm going to pop that up there on 3D foam pads. Whenever I put that on there, I thought these areas were too big, particularly that silver part. So I've gone ahead and cut out 3 of the smaller circles here, and I'm going to lay them on top. So I'll put that one there, and what I'm aiming to do is just leave a border around here that's kind of even, and just do exactly the same thing then as I did on the bigger circles. When I glue those on, I'll be able to just turn the card over and chop those off then. And then this will look really pretty in the center. And there it is. And it's really a beautiful card. It's very, very hard to photograph or video because of the silver, but in real life that looks really, really lovely. And I've added little pieces of the diffused violet on here and the glitter card on there, just to bring that together as well. For my fourth and last card then, I've decided to make one exactly the same way as I started off the first one. So I've cut the two pattern dies into here, but then I've taken a piece of vellum which is just slightly smaller than the card front, although I've added an extra centimetre on here, and I'm going to glue that in here actually by that little fold onto there, and that means that it's not open the whole way through, but you've got that beautiful little sort of translucent effect with the vellum there. But I don't want the vellum glued directly to it. I'm just going to leave it as a kind of a loose leaf. So you could actually just put double-sided tape down there or glue, and I've decided I'll go with glue. I prefer that because it just gives you a little bit of maneuverability for a moment or two to make sure you've got it in the right place. Yep, and there you have it. And that's a really, really lovely sort of open feeling, but it's got that kind of loose leaf on it as well. Now I've taken the same little center die and I've cut out two of these little bows again, and I've put a 3D foam pad on the back of each of them, and I am just going to put them on here, and there we are. I really love that pink frosting glitter card. It's really, really beautiful. So there we are, that's it on there and there. Now I'm going to punch out a couple of little dots just with a little hole punch and put them around the little centers of the bows around here to bring all of that together, and I'll put some white into the center of those two, and hopefully that will look good. Does look gorgeous, but I think it just needs something else. So I have taken the die that has cut this beautiful piece out here, and I have used another layering die. It's an older one from Tonic, and I've just made myself a little circle frame, and I'm going to glue that on there, and I think that finishes that off beautifully. It just needed something else but to take up a little bit more of that white space. I do like white space, but I'm not comfortable with lots and lots of it. It kind of makes me feel like I haven't tried hard enough with the card. And sometimes I think it looks lovely, but then I think when you're watching a video you might want to see more on it. So anyway, either way I like this. So there you are, and I hope you like it too. Actually, let me know what you think about white space. Leave me a little comment and let me know. It's hard to know. Sometimes to me that's got a lot of white space on it, and I really, really like that. At other times when I do it, I sort of feel like I'm making a too quick a card. It's maybe rushed looking and it doesn't look right at the end. But anyhow, we all have our own opinions on that, and to some people less is more, and to some people more is more. We've all got different ideas. Anyhow, that's enough of that nonsense. Let's get back to the cards that I've made. So there we are. Where did I start and where did I end, and what has all happened in between? Let's hope those drops are dry. So we started off with this one, and you can see that beautiful aperture there, and as I said, you could add different sentiments into the center. Instead of this, you don't have to put that up at the top. I had a little look through my die sets there. There's a gorgeous one here, and I know it's not a circle, but I really love that Just For You. That's out of the selection of sentiments die set. That fits perfectly inside a circle, and although it's a heart, it does look beautiful. So with these little sort of bows around the outside, you could still put that heart into the center, and that would be beautiful. There you are, there's that one. And then we made the circle card, and don't forget to always take off a little sliver to make it stand up beautifully. And even if you want to add a little more dimension, you could just bring those little bow sides up a little bit and give that even more dimension like that. And I've added the little crystal drops around there. I think they're dry because they're actually there's not a lot of them, so it doesn't take too long to dry. Then this one here is very sort of geometric and modern looking, but it's really, really nice as well. And then we have this one, And vellum is really, really beautiful. It gives a lovely, lovely effect. And I was thinking if I hadn't put this die cut part in the center, I could have put a sentiment across there and then cut the backing plate out with the vellum as well and popped it on there, and that would be really, really beautiful and a lovely way to tie all of that together too. So that's it. That's all I'm going to make with this little die set, and I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope I'm giving you lots of inspiration for using these die sets, because although I have really only used them with what's in that set together here, you can use those with loads and loads of your own die sets that you might already have. This would be beautiful in a memory book. It would also be really, really beautiful on a scrapbook page, because that could be the layering background that you could then put your photographs into, and it would be so, so pretty. But there you are. Thanks very much for watching once again. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that, and to hit the notification bell. Give it a big like if you have enjoyed it, big thumbs up, and leave me a little comment. And my affiliate links to the set and anything else I've used will be down below. And don't go anywhere just yet, because I'll have lots of photos at the end of the video. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.